Hello, everyone. Welcome to our Intentional Living series from the Growth Bank. Today, I'm privileged to have our special guest here. Uh, Before I introduce you, friends, 25 years back, I had a dream to do what I wanted to do, uh, basically, what I'm doing now, adding value to people by helping them to unlock their full potential. Then, that was a dream, and it remained a dream for several years. It remained a dream for several years until I felt that my idea struck gold. Until I felt that my idea struck gold. Um, it never struck that right time. It never struck that right time. Until I intentionally decided to take action from my idea, convert that idea to an action, and create an output, create a result. So it's true, and often we keep waiting for that one moment to begin what we want to do. We fail into that situation. We fall into a perfection trap, looking for a better way to do and trying to find it out. What happens? This causes us to question ourselves and hold us back to do the things we want to do in our life. My dear friends, born to a middle class farming couple, Sri Venkatesh Patil and Srimati Shakuntala Patil, completing his bachelor's in mechanical engineering and then rising to complete his master's in info technology in Australia. Our guest today held jobs like management consulting and IT transformation consultant in top IT firms in Australia and various government firms. It was in 2015 an idea struck to him and he decided to leave Australia and come back to his home country, India. What made him decide is his intent. His definitive intent to join his father and brother for helping the farmers in India, to bring farm prosperity. He did not wait, but jump-started his journey the moment he got the idea. Today, Mera Kisan stands out, and it is standing out in the online organic produce and grocery platform. Not only has grown to a 10 million company, but has established its presence in over 1,400 stores and around 25 franchises, connecting the farmers directly to the buyers. My dear friends, I take pride and welcome the founder and CEO of Mera Kisan, Mr. Prashanth Patil, as a growth warrior today, and know to learn how being intentional makes a difference in attaining one's purpose. Prashanth, thank you and welcome for joining to help me help the growth enthusiasts today.
Thank you very much, Venkatesh. It's been a very humble introduction. And first of all, before I talk about today's session, I would love to congratulate to you and feel so proud about the work you're trying to do. And it is an amazing to see that a person like you moving away from a very humble background, going back to Australia, to United States, and now looking forward to inspire um, so many young entrepreneurs. And I definitely love to congratulate first for the great work what you are trying to do.
Oblige, and thank you very much. Thank you for those kind words, Prashanth. I remember somewhere in 2013 or 2014, somewhere that period, in a telephonic conversation, you mentioned a small idea of helping farmers.
Yeah.
Right. And today I'm proud. I'm really proud that you turned that small idea into a big, impactful transformation across the nation.
Yes.
I'm so proud of you. And so let me so first let me ask you this:
Mm.
what is the idea that struck Mera Kisan? How did you know when you had the right idea?
Mm. Yeah. Yeah, Venkatesh, I think there are two parts to this questions what you're asking about. Okay, right. It is about the idea what stuck to make Mera Kisan. So as per, if you see my background, I come from a farming background itself, right? And and if you continuously see a problem, okay, not from days, from the months to years, and that problem always there is in the mind, and you always believe that that problem, how do you want to solve that problem? Idea is nothing but it's a problem which you want to solve,
Correct.
and a problem which is been there in the mind from a childhood, and as you grow and you see that problem. So basically my um, uh, as I seen farming very closely from my childhood, as you introduced my father has been into farming last 40-45 years, and he's currently 76 years of old, right? Even till last year, okay, now he is unable to walk because of his Parkinson, but he's still at age of 75. He still wanted to visit the fields on a daily basis. Okay, and one of the as you see in India, okay, the farmers actually go through multiple problems. Okay,
Yes.
but the day one, I have been very clear that one of the biggest problem what I want to solve was about the market linkage, right? And that's a major problem. And as you talk about the market linkage, there are major problems which farmers face. Okay, from taking that right their produce to a right buyer, to a right market, okay, within the right logistics, with the right price is a very, very important factor. And so so this problem actually was there in the mind, and I was looking for a right time to see that how I built those right skills, that right knowledge, okay, and built my personal stability to see that because the problem is really big, right? And to solve that right problem, to solve this bigger problem, you need to definitely have those right skills, that right approach. So I I was carrying these problems all this number of years with me, and 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 as I developed myself in terms from academics to work experience, right? Meeting different people, as I went abroad, as I saw how things, the problems of farmers in Australia and the different countries, and trying to learn and network was a very important key, you know. And so bringing back to your question, definitely to summarize it, I think the problem which was there in my mind actually was the key for that creation of that idea. Okay, right, and 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 definitely, I think the right time was right when I developed the right skills to solve that problem was very important.
So making yourself ready, getting yourself ready to take that action was.
Yes, yes. So I think just to take one step ahead, in many places you have an idea and you definitely get so overexcited about it to solve it, right? But in that overexcitement, it is very important that you have those right skills, right, to solve that problem. Have you really prepared about solving that problem is very important, and to solve that problem to what extent is very important, because that problem you're not trying to solve for that hour, for a day, because that problem you're trying to solve, okay, and continuously do it for a number of years of period of time. Now, even now, I am dealing with that problem. Okay, right? It's been around 4 years now. I'm doing this, and I'm still that problem is there, right? Maybe I would have solved it to a very small percentage of that. Okay, and at the same time, when there's a problem, you need to even measure the number of people you want to impact it as well. Yeah,
Yes,
right.
exactly.
So you definitely have to be strongly prepared from a very 360-degree angle to,
Definitely.
okay, to deal with it, to deal with that idea.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so that's how it is, Venkatesh.
So that's so powerful. That's so powerful. Um, ever since you shared that you started this initiative, Prashant,
Yeah.
I always was very curious. I know when I idealize, I know the intent behind that. I know how to perceive that, but I want to hear from you what made it so special. So what I'm asking you is, how did you come up with this special name? How did you come up with this name, Mera Kisan? And what made you to think, and what made you to
Yeah.
come up with that name, Mera Kisan?
Yes. 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 So Venkatesh, I think definitely it's a very important question, and this is something which I'm living every day now. Okay, right. So my identity now is 10% is Prashant, and 9% is Mera Kisan. Right. And in terms of the name you're talking about, so Mera Kisan is nothing but as you see every time in our life we keep telling this belongs to me, this is mine. Yeah.
Yes.
And as per my subject is concerned, my agriculture, and in that farmer plays a very important role. Yeah. And so I wanted to see, right, the first is a feeling. Mera Kisan is nothing but now it is a subject, it is a feeling, it is an emotion, it is a passion, right? And now as we take the name every day, okay, so now I can actually feel the product as well. So Mera Kisan, as I said, that is something which in the English, if you translate, it becomes my farmer. Yeah.
Yes.
So if you see my farmer in Indian language, it is Mera Kisan. As soon as, so something which you want to do, and who farmer is a very important core of that. So we
Correct.
wanted to name something our, so this is again, this is our journey which we wanted to name it to someone. It is Mera Kisan itself. Yeah.
Beautiful.
So yeah, so Mera Kisan is nothing but my farmer. So and as soon as it is, whether it is a consumer or whether it is a product, okay, or it is a story, right? It is all related to the farmer itself. Yeah. So that's how it is, Venkatesh.
That is so touching. I mean, I'm really moved, Prashant, because the way you explain, and I got the intent.
Mm.
You do online groceries, you do all types of products, but
Yeah.
what you emphasize, which I'm really moved with, is that
Mm.
your products are not what you're selling.
Yeah.
Your product is the farmer, is the prosperous
Yes.
farmer. That's the product.
Yes.
What you're
Yes.
trying to create.
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
really moved, and that's huge. I mean, the name has a lot to do with that feeling, that oneness, that belonging which you're creating in the
Yes.
community of farmers.
Exactly.
Really moved with that, and I idealize that, and there should be some special reason. I mean, it's very common name. It's very easy to understand, but what makes it so special? That I'm really emotionally moved with the way you put it. That my product is not the product I am selling, but my product is a prosperous farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, and really wonderful, wonderful. So whatever you want to do, and whether you are doing it or not,
Mm. Mm.
it is always circumstantial question,
Yes.
because our desires change with our age, education, experience,
Yes.
and the
Yes.
environment around us.
Yeah.
Just a day before my dad passed away,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
father, I don't know why and went or what made him to ask this question, what went on in his mind. He asked me a
Mm.
question
Yeah.
that changed my mind
Mm.
and helped me strike the reality to take
Mm.
up
Mm.
my calling. And that question was, son, are you sure you're doing what you wanted to do in your life?
Yes. Yeah.
That's huge. It was just one night before, it was around 10 p.m. my time in EST. Uh,
Mm. Mm. Mm.
and till 11 o'clock we talked, And then 4:40 early in the morning, I got a call that he's no more. So it was just few hours before he passed away. So that really helped me to get to a self-awareness, accept my reality. And then since then, I took an oath. Yes, I want to do what I want to do. So if I ask you the same question which my dad asked to me, being curious to know how leaders like you think and take it further. Prashanth, are you doing what you wanted to do?
Yeah, Venkatesh, very interesting question. Okay, right. I think this question actually is making me to think again more deep into it as well. Yeah. So, yes, first to that, 100% yes, I'm doing what I really wanted to do it. Okay. To this, there are two parts. Okay, right. There are definitely two parts of the story. One, for myself. Okay, and other thing is what I wanted to deliver, right, is also very important. What I wanted to take with me, right? So from a very beginning, right? Always, this is my always as from my childhood, I've been a very curious kid, right? And my way of is always been is that to experience the life in my own way as well, and to learn things through this experience itself, right? And definitely this journey of Mera Kisan has given me a very different experience of my life, right, to personally to me. And this is what I would like to tell to people is that any leader in this world has got something for himself first as an experience and which he lives for it, right? Right. And as you know, we both from my college days to now, right? So this is again this last 4 years of my entrepreneurship has definitely been given a very wonderful experience which I can cherish for the rest of my life. Okay, and which I wanted to live this moment. That is where I brought, and to do so, it was important that I need to put myself into certain role to experience this.
Right.
And the role which I put was the one role which suitable to experience was to become an entrepreneur.
Nice.
Yeah. So, and this entrepreneurial journey has actually given me to live this moment. And definitely, I can tell you, I'll guarantee you that what I'm doing, I'm definitely enjoying it at this moment. Yeah, there are challenges, but as we speak on, we talk about it. Okay, I'm definitely doing what I'm thinking from a long period of time.
I like the idea. I like the way you express this. I like the way you put a simple and subtle answer, saying that the viewpoint of you saying that for you to trigger a change and impact people, it's just not about advising or suggesting. You have to take a role. That's very important.
Yeah.
You have to understand what your role is, and you have to take up that role to the fullest. And that's what I heard from you. And that role was an entrepreneur making. If you want to make a farmer prosperous, you have to make him feel that he's getting what he wants to the fullest. And I cannot think anything better I could have done, at least, other than this. Knowing the fact that this is going to work, this is what you said, I couldn't think anything better than that, to make a farmer prosperous, getting him directly into the market, close to the buyer, and getting what he needs and what he wants and what he's anticipating according to what he has put in to get that product out from the ground.
Yeah, so I think very clearly, Venkatesh, is that important is, as you mentioned in your own words, that the purpose is very important. Okay, right? And the purpose is something which actually encourages, right, and motivates to do that what you really want to, what you really like to do.
Correct.
Right? So again, the clarity you are building towards that purpose You need to be very clear yourself about that purpose, what you wanted to do, right? Whether it is your social impact we are trying to do, right, or your own personal thing, what you wanted to achieve. So all those purposes you have to very clearly understood.
Beautiful, beautiful.
Yeah.
Let me put a small extension to the question which my dad asked me. The moment my dad asked me, I got an answer. But as soon as I got an answer, I also had a simultaneous question, parallel question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So let me ask you that question. Let me see, how does that change my perspective of answering that question for myself?
Mm-hmm.
The question is, why are you doing what you're currently doing? Why are you doing what you're currently doing?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. As you're talking about your dad, he definitely left a message for you. Okay, right. He definitely he left a message which is very powerful for yourself, and maybe you would have spent so much of time to understand that message.
Yep.
Right. So yes, Venkatesh, the same thing for myself as well. Okay, right. So I'm doing okay to see that, as I said, this problem is been in the mind from a very long period of time of solving the problem of market linkage for the farmers. And my core objective has always been that how can I bring farm prosperity through this market linkage, right? And I know that it is not easy to do, right? Because I have to develop that subject matter expertise into that, okay? Whether in terms of in understanding the farmer problems, okay, from farm to fork, understanding of that, policies, regulatory compliances, okay, right? There's so many things which was important for me to understand, yeah, and uh, and definitely, as I said, uh, the core objective is to bring farm prosperity through this market linkage, and at the same time, yeah, improve the livelihood of the farmers. Uh, as the farmer gets a better price, okay, I've been seeing my own father, right? So bringing up the 5 kids, okay, only on the farming income is not as easy it is, okay, right? So and the farmer in India definitely struggles on a daily basis in terms of getting a better price, supply. He has to travel all the way to miles to sell his produce.
Right.
Okay, so all are. This is something which keeps always goes in the mind that okay, how can we can solve this problem? We develop some stability within this people, so all this is all those good things which we are doing for this community, okay, is definitely is a purpose uh, why we are doing this, what we are doing it now.
Totally in line. I mean, there is no separation which you're actually portraying from the purpose and what you're currently doing. So what I hear from you is your idea has germinated. It's growing.
Yeah.
It's growing with an intent.
Yeah.
And it's growing the right way.
Yes.
That's awesome. That's awesome. And it requires a lot of thinking. As you were saying, it's not easy for the farmer in India, especially, though India's basic occupation was agriculture a few years back, and I would say a century back, almost, right? So with the urbanization, with the industrialization coming in, it transformed. But the core occupation is still the agriculture. We should not be forgetting that.
Yeah.
And this initiation, this purpose, this intent, this purpose of yours is going. I would say is going to. It has already created a ripple.
Yeah.
It has already created a ripple. So there are situations. There are people who has to shift their minds, who has to change the way they think.
Yes.
Agriculture is or has to be in India now. So if it comes to me, I truly owe my mind shift. I truly owe my mind shift to few people in my life, and some of them had a very powerful impact on me.
Mm.
One of them being my dad. That
Yeah.
last question he asked me, it
Yes.
blew up. So
Mm-hmm.
some of them, I can name few. Some of them had so much powerful impact on me.
Yeah.
So what I want to know is, can you name a person who has had a tremendous impact on you as
Mm.
that leader, as a
Mm.
leader?
Yeah.
I mean, someone like who has been a mentor to you, or anyone who you have learned from. So what can you name? Can you think of a person who has had that powerful impact on you?
Yeah, it's a very beautiful question, Venkatesh. I think it is my father, okay, right, who has always and who keeps inspiring us even till date, right, in terms of as a leader, okay, and as you were talking about your father, definitely there are so many emotions, but at the same time, you have so many practical learnings also,
Of course.
right? As yes, from those practical, what you see from your childhood, and definitely every father is a hero for his son.
Of course.
And so for me, because what I'm trying to do currently is so much related to my father, uh, and he is the one person who I have seen from my childhood, who sacrificed so many things in his own life to see that he does better fund for his own community, for the farmers. He himself, as I said, yeah, he himself was an engineer from Mysore University, right? He quit his well-paid job, came back to the village at that time, 40-45 years back. You can actually can
Yeah.
imagine the state where we were in, right? But and at the same time, now as I see, I relate myself. Okay, the challenges what he had at the time to deal with, okay, right, one, moving from a very from urban city to coming down to a village, understanding those village issues, okay, understanding the farming thing by himself, getting that know-how how the farming has to be done, okay, right, and at the same time, getting adjusted to that environment.
Yeah.
Okay, right. So adopting to that environment was very important to myself as well. When I moved from Australia after staying in Australia for 14 years, I think the first thing when my mind was always thinking that adopting back to this state or to this environment was very important, and what I'm trying to do, you know. So I think, and my father has been continuously been inspiring in so many areas. And whenever I find those challenges in today's day-to-day activities, also, okay, I still engage him. I still discuss with him. I still understand the things, how he has dealt with that, because it's so much related to him. Okay. Technically, when I came back to India, right, so before I start uh, doing this project in a full-fledged sort of a thing, I actually spent almost close to 18 months on the farms itself, okay, on a day-to-day activities, because it is important that I become a farmer before I solve the problem, right? So, so it was for me to become a farmer myself. Okay, so coming back to the question, definitely, I think my father has been a very inspirational person for me, and as I said, so many learnings I have from him, which I'm using in my day-to-day activities now.
Beautiful,
Yeah.
beautiful. I know. I mean, I recollect situations. During our college days, your dad was in village, and your mother used to take care of all you guys. Separating out from father. It's been
Yes.
a total difficult situation during that. I can imagine that. You know, yeah, and fortunately, my family was together. But I can still understand what you have missed, what your father would have missed. But in spite of that, understanding the problems of the farmers, adjusting that, coming from Mysore, that's a great deal to happen. It's not
Yeah.
easy.
Yeah. Yeah. One thing to add, Venkatesh, was about one of the, I think, which I is the most important thing what I learned from my father and which he keeps telling to me is, we talked about all these ideas about these problems to becoming an entrepreneur and everything, right? One thing he always keeps telling to me, and which I believe that everyone should, in solving a bigger problem, or you're trying to do something for this, always he keeps telling me, never forget your roots, right? Always do the right thing, do always believe in doing ethical practices. Never try to do things in a wrong way to achieve the right things. Okay, do the right way to
Mm.
achieve the right thing. Most importantly, what I feel proud about myself, or what from my father's learning is, what I've seen is important is to believe in the ethical practices.
Beautiful, beautiful. That reminds me of couple of suggestions, advices, or sayings by my mentor John. One thing he says is, you got a point that, if you are trying to solve a problem for a farmer, you have to first be a farmer,
Yes, yes.
right? So that makes me think of that. How true is that statement? Every now and then when I talk to people, every now and then when I am curious and try to learn from people like you who have intentionally grown, making an impact, the statement feels me, and it comes with a new light every time, and shows that yes, there is nothing which can say I'm wrong. That statement is, people don't care what you know until they know how much you care.
Yes, yes.
That's a beautiful, I mean, it seems like to be a jump, it seems like to be a tongue twister, putting words here and there, tricky statement. But if you observe that statement keenly, it means a lot.
Mm.
It means a lot. So that's one statement. And the second statement which I'm saying is, you don't have to forget the roots.
Yes, yes.
And then you have to do the right things. If you do the wrong things to get the right things, you will never succeed.
Yes,
But
yes.
that makes me to think of one statement which I always say to people who I talk to, people who I coach, at my work area, in my personal coaching areas. You need to start right to end right.
Yes, yes, yes. Very true, very true.
Right? And gone are those days, just keep trying. No, you need to know the way. You need to start right to end right. If you want to go to Kanyakumari from Delhi, you cannot start traveling north.
Mm.
You'll reach to Nepal, but not Kanyakumari.
But you need to go with the right ticket also. Huh?
You
You
need
need
to
to
go
pay
with
for
the
the
right
ticket.
ticket. You need to go to the right direction.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, you need to know that. You need to know where you are going. You need to know the right way. You need to
Yes.
start right to end right. Beautiful, beautiful, Prashanth. So coming to what you are currently doing today. There. I mean, I'm pretty confident. I'm pretty happy that there are many markets. Mera Kisan is now growing.
Mm.
Right, it's growing
Yeah.
into and creating ripples all over the nation. And I can't express more that it is also going to create international ripples now.
Mm.
You have international clients supplying, but however, I also understand doing business, that too with an intent to bring prosperity to the nation's true and original platform, which is agriculture and farming,
Yes, yes, yes.
is not a piece of cake. It's definitely not a piece of cake. As far as the current situations in India, the industrialization, the modernization which is happening, bringing prosperity to the farmer is not a piece of cake.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
so when you started, I'm pretty sure you would have gone through problems, doubts. So I just wanted to understand, what was your stance? How did you handle these adversities and doubts which made their nest in your mind? Doubts, problems, they keep lingering in your mind when you start
Mm.
something new. So how were you able to handle those things? And if you can tell one or two major things which you handle, and how did you learn from those problems and failures?
Yeah, yeah. So I believe in two approaches, right? Two simple things which I always believe and which made my life very simple. First is to always make complex simple. Okay, that has always been my rule. Okay, And very, very important thing, the second thing which is very important is as an entrepreneur or things you wanted to do, that is again related to the first thing what I mentioned, okay, is always do one thing at a time and do the next thing right.
Wow.
Right. So that is a always belief. I've never believed in doing multiple things at a time. Right. So, and that will never solve the thing. Right. So, as I said, the first approach, what I always believe is to understand, to make complex simple. Okay. So in my work, what I was trying to do, understanding the entire supply chain for me was very important. Okay. So to do so, you need to definitely build a very strong know-how in this entire supply chain, what I'm trying to do from farm to fork, right? And subject in terms of the organic, what I'm trying to do, right? What is that organic means, okay, right? There's so many compliances, there are regulatory things, right? And organic actually happens within a closed loop itself, right? So the first thing to be very really honest, right? As you are also aware that okay, you have a kid, right? The first biggest challenge for me was taking my family, bringing my family all the way from Australia to India, and this is a very very emotional to myself, and I think my elder daughter, I think whatever I'm today and how strong I stood, it is all because the way I've seen her. I'll just stop just to nothing related to about what we are talking about, but I'll still. It was the last year of her school when she was actually leaving Melbourne, and and I think after 3 days we had a flight ticket to come back, and where we were not certain about whether we'll come back to Australia. Okay, and my daughter said me that Dad, I'll support you, right, in what you wanted to do, and that actually means a lot to me at this stage as well. And at that time, she was, I think, 8 years old, and her last day of the school, when I went to pick her up from the school, she was so confused, and literally that she has to leave that, how innocent the kids are, leaving their close friends who they have made in the last 6 years there, and where they've been meeting on a daily basis. And it's the last day where she's not sure that she'll come back, and next day she cannot go to the school. There's so many things which was going in my mind. Oh my God, what did I do now? It's not just my project, right? It's not what I wanted to do and what I wanted, and it is all about to see how my kid settles down and stable in India was very important thing, and that mindset. But I think that was the first big challenge, and I remember she going for the school for the first time, and I think after 1 week she came to me, and she was telling to me, Dad, I'm able to make some good friends, but for me she was actually in tears. I'm not understanding Hindi, right? And she was literally crying and saying, is it possible? Can we go back? I don't know. And suddenly, after a few minutes, she came back to me. No, I'll give my best. Don't worry about it.
Wow.
And surprisingly, Venkatesh, now my daughter, out of 40, she actually scores, last time when I see her results, she actually scores around 39.50, around close to 40 in the Hindi subject, which she was so much worried about it, and so which was actually so I think there is so many learnings which you can learn from your real life itself, and I still and that made me tough as well. I could see that okay, when an 8-year kid can adopt to this, okay, so bravely, right? So but it's a small thing, but actually it made me strong enough, and I could still relate. She's a very good swimmer, okay, and yeah. this is very, very good learning for both of us as well. I used to take her for swimming classes for her, and there the coach actually makes them to do around I don't know much, but around 20-25 rounds of 50 meters.
Wow.
Okay, and they have to do with the different techniques. One with the freestyle they have to do. Okay, and continuously they have to be in the pool for almost for 20-25 minutes period of time. And the last round, almost the last 100 meters or 200 meters, I believe, that they are not supposed to use the hand also.
Wow.
Okay? And so I have to sit and observe and see how they were enjoying that swimming, and it is really tough. Yeah, and now the last thing what I'm trying to say is very interesting. Okay, so they're actually doing the most toughest thing, for them. And as soon as my daughter used to come out of the pool, okay, first thing, Dad, can we go for McDonald's? So she forgot all the things what she did because she was actually enjoying that, and that hardship what she was actually going through it. So I used to see like, oh my God, so it is not so easy for me and you to do, okay, but they were doing so easily, okay, and at the same time they were actually very being tough and not easy. Yeah? But at the same time, that beautiful smile, even after doing that hardship, okay, matters a lot.
Matters.
So what are you trying to show to the world? Okay, with your hardship is also important. Yeah. So always keeping that beautiful smile on your face is matters a lot. And look,
That gives hope. It gives hope.
yes, it definitely gives you hope. And uh, I think we started our discussion with an idea, with a problem, right? But to be very honest, I think entrepreneurship is a journey. It's a journey, right? And in this journey, the only which makes you a successful is staying strong and brave, right? And as I said, that's the biggest challenge, which moving from my family from there was a very, very, very big challenge to me. But in terms of my work, what I have been doing, okay, right? After seeing that big challenge to me, right? So everything looked to be more easier to me, and it looked within my own hands that, okay, yes, I've come for this. I have to accept it. Okay, I don't want to whinge about it. I don't want to cry about it, because the day I left Australia, right, I always thought that, okay, I'm coming here for a bigger purpose, for a bigger problem. I was very much well prepared, okay, that it is not going to be a happy journey, right?
But you were ready.
Yeah, definitely. There are going to be a lot of challenges going to become, and it is continuously, it is going to be there. Right? So we all go into the same boat, but there are different challenges. Someone has a small, someone has a big, but the only thing which will make you is to stay strong and brave.
Stay strong and brave. Beautiful, beautiful. Yeah, I totally agree. It's how you take. Um, uh, so an idea is a trigger. You think about that idea, you convert that to action, and then the results come out. But how you take in the right direction is all about what are you prepared for, what are you trying to sacrifice.
Yeah.
Right. And what is your intent? You're pinning yourself with an intent, and that doesn't change. You have to rotate around that, but the center is fixed. You have to pin yourself. That's a beautiful way of explaining you that learning. If an 8-year-old kid can adjust and adapt, why can't I be doing that? What makes us to stop to adapt if you're trying to achieve a purpose?
Yes.
That's a beautiful one. So now that the Mera Kisan is not only an online e-commerce agri platform or agri product platform, in fact, it is now the top number 3 organic produce company in the nation. What I want to understand is, what are your core values and vision?
mm, mm, mm.
What are your
Yeah.
core values? So we've been talking about the idea, idealization, thoughts, action, purpose. But I feel that, unless there is a strong foundation, you will not be even able to think about a purpose.
Mm, mm.
Right? So that foundation for me, if I understand, that's my core value. And the purpose, how to reach my purpose is my vision. So just
Yeah.
wanted to understand what is your core values, what are your core values? How do you vision? What is your vision?
Yeah. So it's look in terms as you mentioned that okay if what are we standing for? What are the foundation for it? Okay, right. So the foundation definitely is on those core values what we are trying to develop. Okay, in terms of the core values, we are very clear, Venkatesh, that in terms of what we are trying to do, we definitely want to have an ethical and integrity in what we are trying to do. That's very important. Okay, we follow ethical practices. That is our core value. And secondly, very important is as the objective is being from the day one that the farmer gets the better price. Okay, it's very clear. The core value is to provide the better price for the farmers. Okay, and we work for it. Okay, and as per the vision is concerned, now as we are growing, okay, right. So I actually this last few years, as I said, I learned myself, I educated myself, okay, and I developed myself to prepare for a bigger thing to do now. Okay, so the vision is to provide. We have two now. When I developed, I wanted to impact more to the farmers as well. At the same time, now as I'm growing, I could see that I could even have to see that I have to impact to the consumers as well. So in terms, we want to provide quality, safe, and nutrition food to the consumers, and which is sourced directly from the farmers, and a better price is been given to the farmers is the main core vision of this project. Okay, and we are targeting that in the next 5 years to become one of the very popular organic brands in India, right? And uh, and with uh, when we talk about becoming a bigger brand, as I said, because organic is again it is a lifestyle, okay, right? It is where are we impacting not at a farmer, at a consumer, but even to your environmental thing, okay, to the way the agriculture is being done, okay, is very important. We are just one fact to share with you. Venkatesh, is that the land, the agriculture land, because of the high usage of the chemicals and fertilizers,
Hmm.
in the most of the agriculture land in India, the carbon content has come to 0.1%, which is really very, very scary. I don't know how many people have noticed about it. I want to bring this to the notice is that if you imagine if the carbon content goes below 0.1, that means they cannot grow anything, right? Yeah. So definitely, it is not just what Prashanth wants, what Mera Kisan wants. This is a very important that what every citizens of this country has to be very aware about it. That okay, now we are dealing with this COVID-19 situation, which is getting already tough. Going forward, okay, right? The way the food is being grown, food what we are consuming also matters a lot for our health. Okay, even in this COVID-19, you can see a lot of people suggesting that okay, have healthy food. Okay, right, and healthy food comes the way you're growing that food.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah. So I think it is very very important that not just from my sink, every citizen of this country has to know, has to support the organic way of doing things. Okay, I have already given the one fact, but there are so many facts. If you see, the number of suicides done in India is not is because of the input cost what they incur.
Hmm.
And organic farming is something which is for the self-sustainability of the farmer itself. And in India, the highest number of farmers are marginal farmers who have a
Yes.
land 2 to 3 acres of land. Someone has not even 1 acre of land. Okay, for him, okay, developing his own organic manure using in his own field is very important. Okay, so I think this project is all about not only to the farmer, to the consumers, okay, at the environment, what we are talking about, right, and the way we grow our food and the way we consume our food, which is, should be chemical free, and and definitely, as I said about chemical free, it is means about there's less poison in that food, you know.
Beautiful.
So this is how it is, you know. Yeah.
Beautiful, beautiful. While you're trying to tell talk about your values and your vision, you you stumbled upon an answer and beautifully explained about the next question which I was supposed to ask. Why organic?
Mm-hmm.
My next question was, I was about to ask why organic? Why not the conventional? You know. So, but beautifully answered. It's just not about the farmer's prosperity, though your purpose is that, but the vision is not only farmers' prosperity, not only the customers or the consumers' health, but a bigger reason. Making India farming land capable of farming,
Yes,
saving
yes,
saving it to be capable of
yeah,
farming.
yeah,
That's really scary. I mean, 0.1% of carbon. I mean, if it goes down 0.1, the farming land becomes of no use, which is very scary. India is built on agriculture, and that is the situation today. I think, that explains me your vision. The broader vision. It's a beautiful thing. To reach out. So my friend, I know you since our college days, and it's just not about knowing you. I know you very well, isn't it? So I really get motivated, when I think of you and your journey, taking that small idea into converting and transforming them to a big ripple. I'm pretty sure and pretty confident that those who are watching this, those who are hearing to our discussion, they too are getting a lot of motivation. There's no doubt about it. There should be something that motivates you too. So I'm curious, what keeps you motivated to do all these things? What keeps you motivated always?
yeah. So Venkatesh, I think as you talk about that motivation, it's not a one-time thing, right? It's not a one-time thing. It's a continuous thing, right? Hope you're getting related to it. It's not a one thing. Okay, today I saw your video, then okay, I got motivated to do it. Yeah, or I see something and read about it. So one, definitely there is one motivation, a bigger motivation, right? Two, to solve this bigger problem what I'm working, to impact as many farmers, right? Right. And the organic mission, what is there in my mind, the organic vision, what I have in my mind, right? So all is one big motivation for me, right? At the same time, this big motivation, right, is important for my long-term vision and the long-term goal what I'm trying to do. But as we all know that on every day from morning to evening, the day is not as a smooth journey. It has become with so many challenges, right? I've gone through so many rough patches, rough times, so many failures, right? And definitely every failure, when you fail, you definitely go through so many questions within your mind, right? And at that time, I'm coming to the real motivation now, right? So every failure is something at the time you are looking for an immediate motivation which can give it, which is there for you. So for me, I think one, definitely, as I said, my family has always been the motivation, right? uh, has always been, I reach out to my mother, right? And even now, where she keeps, as I talk to her, right? I feel so strong within myself, right? And then and she keeps telling to me, right, that every problem comes, it is not for a longer period of time, right? Don't worry about it. Think calmly, sit down, see what you are doing right, see what you're wrong, you are doing it, and that clarity I developed with it, okay, when I'm not clear about it, that is where you need motivation, right? Where right, that you need motivation on a daily basis, and there are things in a business what you're trying to do, things which make you happy when you achieve something, definitely, uh, which makes you happy at that time. During the good times, you definitely have to motivate people. When you are in a tough times, you definitely have to reach out to the people or reach out to the things uh, which make you happy. Happy is not motivational is nothing where your state of mind has to be converted into happiness. So look, within us there are so many different characters also, right? As you grow up, it's not just you have a kid within yourself, right? Right? And where for example, whenever I'm not happy or I'm upset about it, I definitely turn to some good movie to watch about it, right? uh, a beautiful song to listen for it, right? Or I myself uh, go for some within a networking thing, right? Or I play something new which I love to do. I, I, I do something which I love apart from this, okay, right? That again changes my state of mind from unhappiness, gives me that again my physical strength to cope up with that, you know.
You try to reset and then come out of that, detach yourself
Yes,
those things which demotivate you or make you unhappy, or think you
yes,
back.
yes.
All right, all
So
right.
I think as I said clearly, for a bigger motivation, definitely the purpose what I'm working is always there in the mind. But as I was telling to you, that motivation is again a continuous thing which you require. Now, as I'm talking to you, right? Again, another motivation which is going within me, okay, right? Which I think this motivation makes me to survive for another few days, you know. So I think definitely, as what all the things explained to you, these are the ways where I motivate myself.
Beautiful. I like I like you saying the first person you want to look for motivation is yourself. And the way you explain, you wanted to detach, not do the same thing where you encounter a failure or a problem or a challenge, because it's where you get demotivated if you keep seeing that. So you detach, do something else, reset, press that reset button, and then come back and bring that energy back and start doing things in a different way.
Yeah, yes, definitely, Venkatesh. These are all very like motivational, and all those things are definitely an emotional part of your physical thing. But I think we definitely have to be accept that your way of doing things, okay, matters a lot in your entrepreneurship journey or in anywhere you are doing, right? First
Definitely.
of all, you need to accept that in life there are failures, you
Oh,
know
that's a big thing.
and exactly, you need to accept it. You cannot have something, see anyone in the world, okay, anything, and failure is basically an experience for yourself which you definitely have to be proud about it and cherish that, okay. And through that failure, you if you're I think many people, okay, this is something very important which I've learned from every failure. You have a choice. You have a choice to sit back and put some deep dive into that, okay, right, and bring some beautiful notes out of it. And that is very important. In this category, very few people fall, okay.
Yes, that
And
difference maker. Yes.
yeah, and in the major category, when people fail, either they try to put that failure on someone, right, or they don't want to accept that failure, yeah,
Mm.
right?
Right.
Or they have not understood that failure is nothing but a problem itself. You know, I keep telling to my team that don't worry about failure or a problem. Accepting the failure and accepting the problem is 200% of a solution,
Hmm.
right? If you don't accept it or you don't want to accept it, they are stubborn, okay, right? So the stubbornness, because in everything your nature plays a very important role, your personality plays an important role, right? So I want, life is really very simple. It all derives with your personality itself, okay?
Perfect.
If your
Perfect.
personality is all about learning, adopting, engaging, you know, right, and forgiving, you know, and learning from any person, right? Uh, and keeping that smile on your face, making people making people happy. All these small things matter a lot in things what you are trying to do. People actually forget, okay, because we always believe that academics and technical things solves, you
Hmm.
know, right? But we always forget that uh, a beautiful personality, what you own, solves a lot of things, you know, right?
That leadership, what you're talking about is that leadership
Yeah.
which is needed to lead myself
Mm.
first.
Yes, yes,
Only then I can be an inspiration. Only then I can lead others.
yes.
Right. Beautiful. That leadership is what is required. I can't agree more. You know, I can't agree more, Prashant. I mean, you put a beautiful line again, saying that life is very simple. It is the perspective you take and turn how it is for you.
Yeah.
It's a perspective you take to turn how you want it to be. Right. It's
Yes.
a very strong statement. I mean, words are simple. I mean, I mean, put a thought on it. If you put a thought on it, you can think for days together
Mm.
and arrive to a self-awareness there. Beautiful, beautiful. That's what I say, right? You know, the thoughts, the intention, the zeal, and the life you put in thinking about, you know, making that impact which you are making. I think like I know that, you know, there are thousands of acres which Mera Kisan has inspired
Mm.
convert to organic.
Yeah.
There are close to like 40,000 farmers which we have impacted. Um, See, I mean, for me, when you travel on a path of making an impact, what
Yeah.
keeps you motivating is also these facts, how you are going.
Yes. Yes.
That's huge for me. I mean, I really am really impressed. You know, this is huge. That's why I call it as a big ripple. It's just not a ripple.
Mm.
Impacting in 4 years, impacting so many acres, turning those many conventional farming lands to organic farming lands, and converting thousands of farmers take up this organic revolution. It's not an easy job.
Yes.
That's by itself is a good result. You know, those are small. I mean, considering that longer vision, this might be smaller wins. But if you consider from where you were 4 years back and from where you are today, it's a big win. That keeps me motivating. I mean, and pretty much sure that, you know, everyone in Mera Kisan, including yourself, that's a big motivation, and that's what you're looking for, isn't it? So
Yeah.
I take a different approach. You know, coming to, and I know we want to wind up quickly. I don't want to chew up much of your time, but a few minutes here. So I take a slightly different approach in rendering and extracting key points from whom I
Yeah.
speak. That's my niche.
Yes.
You know it
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
So and that is for my own motive, so I can help people get most out of the insights, you know, from
Yeah.
the leaders like you who provide that. So let me ask you a couple of questions here. So the first question in that category, you know, of extracting is, have you reached where you wanted to till now?
Mm. Mm. Okay. Yeah. You know, Venkatesh, right? In every journey, right? It's a journey, and you reach milestones to reach to a destination. Yeah, you reach your first milestone, you reach your second milestone, right? And then you reach to the third milestone. So I think definitely we have covered a very good milestones in this last 4 years. Yeah, and every milestone has pushed us to another milestone. And when you push to another milestone, the objective, the purpose, the vision again becomes bigger, right? So, and definitely, I think there is long way to go, right? And definitely, I think Venkatesh, I'll really have a very good answer in another 1 or 2 years, right? So at this stage, as I said, I'm covering one milestone at a time, and that is very important. And as I go from one to other, and when I understand my last, I don't know, I think today you made me to think about my last milestone. What is that last milestone, right? So this is one of the learning I will take from this conversation, that I have to, in the next few days or the few months, I will see what is my last milestone, and that my milestone where, okay, I've done now, right? And I can look back and see that, okay, these are the milestones that I have covered, okay? But I think this, I will take it as my action point on me, right? But to make it short and sweet, definitely we have covered a good milestone.
So Prashanth, other thing which I want to extract from you is, what are you willing to struggle for? Given the situations, given the growth we have seen in 4 years, and there's a long way to grow, achieving milestones, what are you willing to struggle for?
Yeah. Okay. So very tough question, huh, Venkatesh? Yeah. But again, as you're asking, I think there is some clarity on this, but I'll still develop more clarity, because each of the questions is definitely a very meaningful to myself as well. So when I started this project, right, so the purpose always has been with the farmers. Yeah. Now, when I see my 360 view of my work, what I'm trying to do, okay, now you ask me what is makes you to struggle now. What are you, okay? So now I can see what the hard work I was doing and what my vision, now it is being taken over by my few teammates, my people who are working for me, right, for working for this project. I can see that the hardship they are going through to make this project successful, right? To see that we impact more farmers, we do the right thing, right? So now the first thing is definitely the farmer is there. The second thing is the growth, what I have done to sustain this growth, right? At the same time, the people who are working for me, right, are also being given a very stable thing, right? Because it is very important to take these people also, okay, forward and grow them in the right direction. If you see now in my team, there are people. I've run this company very differently as well. Yeah. So this we have run this company as a more like a family now, right? So now I'm struggling, right, or not struggling. I think what makes me to struggle is to keep my family happy. That is very important. My family now, my family is not my wife and my kids, but my people who are working for me is very important. At the same time, these people have sacrificed so many things in the last few years, and whatever I'm today is all because of their sacrifice, their hard work. It's not just Prashanth's hard work. People would only see the front faces as a founder, they would see only Prashanth. To be very honest, my sacrifice in front of these people is very, very small, right? And I would have sacrificed once, but they are doing on a daily basis. They see that, okay, yes, we want to solve this bigger purpose. Now they are motivating me on a daily thing, right? And the work they do it, tireless work, right? So I think, in short, now very important to keep my family, uh, is my, as I said, my family is people who are working, who I'm working with, to keep them happy and to take this for a very longer period of time and to grow them is very, very important for me.
Beautifully said. You know, that uh, I bring this point here, you know,
Yeah.
but a great leader helps others to be leaders.
Yes, yes, yes. That is true.
That's what I'm getting when you say, when you say, my family is not my wife, my children, my mom, my dad. It's my people who are working for my project, for my vision. They are working for my intent, for my purpose. They have sacrificed a lot of their own things to make me meet my purpose. That's a beautiful,
Yes.
that's where the belonging comes for a leader, right?
Mm.
Or for me, a leader brings in a lot of belonging to his people.
Yes, yes, yes.
And I clearly see, I mean, this is so awesome, Prashanth. You know, I'm really getting a lot of learning and inspiration from your story, and the path you chose to create this ripple and impact people in the agriculture and farming sector. That's huge. A great fruition for me today.
Yeah. Sorry to interrupt, but I just one thing I wanted to add, Venkatesh, is whenever people want to join Mera Kisan, I tell to them is don't come as an employee, come as an entrepreneur,
Wow.
right? Right, and and come here to fulfill your dreams, right? And to have a very joyful journey over here, you know, right? And this thought itself has made this organization strong as a family.
Wow. So I think, like, organization wide, as a leader, you carry that purpose and you carry that vision of yours, and everyone else is tied closely to that vision, and that's why you're trying to bring in that belonging. You know, that shows the value of belonging you are getting into the organization.
Yes, yes.
That's very awesome. So Prashant, I feel like there is a point everyone feels fully like being himself on his journey of success, or in his life, in the journey to attain his purpose. So what I want to ask you is, when do you feel the most like yourself? You know, that yes, this is Prashant Patil. Yes, this is what is Prashant Patil. When do you feel like that?
Yeah, again, very, very interesting question. Okay, that so it again depends upon Venkatesh in what situation I am in.
Mhm.
Okay, right. As you're asking the question, I was just trying to think what is this question all about, right? So to figure out the right answer for it. So in what situation I am actually defines what I am. Okay, right.
Mhm.
For example, if I'm playing with my kids, right, I there I cannot be more technical. I have to just enjoy. I just have to be happy and to be with them and to, right.
Great.
So if I'm very unhappy, I'm upset. Okay, right. So that's not how I am. Okay, it's all upon the situation. Now, the second situation, if you see, is you come to a company and you see that okay, there's something big problem has actually happened. It's
Mhm.
a very, really big problem. So in that situation, how you as a personality, how you as a person trying to solve, okay, actually defines me.
Hmm. Right. Right.
Same thing. So like when I was in college, right, that was the situation was different, and that time my personality defined. So I cannot be a founder. I cannot be a founder at that time, right? I was a student, and I was looking for friendship. I was looking to enjoy those 4 years of my college life. Yeah. So I think it's for everyone. It is for you, for anyone. Okay, realization of who you are depends upon where you are and in what situation. Yeah. So for example, yeah. Lastly, to make it more clear, for example, if I go to a temple, right, spiritually I'm really calm, right, and that place itself brings that positive energy, right, to to build again another level of clarity about who you are.
Hmm.
Yeah. So I don't know whether I've answered this question.
Yeah, I think I get a feel here, Prashant, right? I mean, what if I get things right here, right? What you're trying to say is how so you feel like you are yourself when you get immersed and get a part of a system,
Yes.
okay, in the system where you are.
Yeah.
So as you were saying, if you're in a temple, you're spiritual. When you're working towards your purpose and everything, you're an entrepreneur. When you're playing with a kid, your kid, you're actually their friend, being happy. You don't want to. So what I'm trying to get from you here is the way you respond to a situation reveals who you are.
Yes. 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 Yes.
I mean, that's what I can put that in nutshell. That I can take that as a learning. The way you respond to a situation reveals who you are.
Yes. Yes. Of course. Yeah. That's how it is, right?
So that's why I'm Prashanth Patil, CEO and founder of Mera Kisan, the top #3 organic produce company online. I'm so very sure, knowing you very well, that this is just not the ambition or your final goal. You have been telling that every time. What is your purpose? So I'm asking you this very openly to extract. What gives your life a meaning? What gives your life a meaning?
Yeah. I think very clearly the meaning. It's been always been very clear to me that serving the community and doing good for the country is the most important meaning for my myself. Right?
Um,
So that's very in short. I don't want to elaborate it in more. But
that covers.
definitely, I really wanted to do something good for my country, good for my people, and that's more than enough to have a very beautiful meaning for my own life.
Beautifully said. Beautifully said, and very heavily put in my mind. And I think, this is going to be uh, people who really are looking for a purpose in their life. This
Yeah.
is going to be an eye opener, and this is going to be a true inspiration to take up similar meaning to their lives.
Yes.
Right? I mean, it's very heavy on. If I think, it's very heavy on me. Trying to help the country and the people. Wow. Amazing story, my friend Prashant. Amazing story. Amazing talk. Amazing
Thank you.
learning. It is such a great time to know how an intentional growth can be envisioned, and how one can keep learning and growing to accomplish one's life's purpose.
Yes. Yes.
It is all about being intentional, and I see that strong definitive intention in you. And my friend, 4 years, you are on right track. I cannot agree that more. And the values, the vision, the purpose which is driving you is definitely going to keep pushing you towards that more and more. And I wish you all the best, all the best. And being a person of faith, I pray God that I want people like you, people to learn from you, people look at you and and, and be like you, so that they have that purpose. I want to take this learning. I guarantee that viewers here should have already got a lot of points and many key takeaways from your story and the experience which you have shared with us, and the purpose, the vision which you have shared with us. If I give you a last chance, this is my last question, I promise. If I give you a chance to write and publish your own biography,
Yeah.
and ask you to name the book with one word that explains you, with one word that explains you, what would that word be?
It could be again My Farmer.
My Farmers. Wow. Wow.
You know,
Amazing.
My Farmer.
Somewhere in my instinct, it was pricking me. I know my friend Prashanth will come back to that point. My Farmers.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. That's so amazing.
Yeah, and in everyone there is a farmer.
In everyone there's a farmer. Yes, that's huge. I think like this is going to be my topic in my coming session. In everyone there is a farmer, and I have beautiful thought about it. Thanks for reminding me. Thanks for triggering me that. So I look forward for that. I'm going to talk about that in my coming days. Beautiful said that, and amazing. And thanks for your time, Prashanth. I really appreciate it. It's been precious time. It's been precious learning. And I think the viewers who are viewing this, who have heard about all these things, they got a lot of things. Sometime key learnings, very inspirational discussion with Prashanth Patil, CEO and founder Mera Kisan. Thank you very much, Prashanth. Convey my regards to all your family, your mom, your dad, your wife, your kids. Have a blessed life. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Venkatesh.
My dear friends, this is it for today in our discussion. This is a story of the CEO and founder of Mera Kisan, which is the #3 organic produce platform in India today, just in a span of 4 years. We have heard his story, we have looked upon every walk of his life, lived with an intention, with a definitive intention to make an impact in the community of farmers and bring farm prosperity. My dear friends, today, all what you have seen and understood is one point. Personal growth is neither an accident nor a magic. Personal growth has to be attained with an intentionality. That's it for today. Thank you.